So in the last class, I have told you about the igneous rocks and the sedimentary. So today we will learn about the metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic rocks, what does this word mean? Metamorphic. Can anyone tell me? In the name of this rock, it is by the name of this rock, you can tell about it, which kind of rock it is. Metamorph. Metamorph means what?
Ma'am, can I say?
I'm showing you one picture. Yes, tell it. Samia Rahman. Yes.
Ma'am, metamorphic.
Yes, Samia.
Ma'am, the word metamorphic came from the Greek word meta, which means change, and morph, which means form. Metamorphic rocks.
Yes, very good. So that is the absolutely correct answer. So on the basis of formation, the rocks can be classified into three types. This is the this is the basic point that you must learn at the very first of this chapter. That is igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. We have already learned about igneous and sedimentary. Today we are going to learn about the metamorphic rocks, right? So here is the meaning of the metamorph that Samia has just told to us, that meta means change and morph means form. So metamorphic rock means a changed form of some other rocks. Okay. So metamorphic rock is not created itself. It is the changed form of these previous rocks, igneous rock and sedimentary rock. When igneous rock and sedimentary rock is already formed, and after that also, due to the heat, high temperature and pressure under the ground, if any changes occur to these igneous rock and sedimentary rock, then it is called the metamorphic rock. So there is a particular characteristic for igneous rock. Suppose due to this high temperature and pressure, that igneous rock has changed somehow. It has changed into another form. Then it will never be called an igneous rock. It will be called a metamorphic rock. So metamorphic rock is nothing but the changed form of other forms of rock, that is igneous and sedimentary rock. You can see it is written here, metamorphic rocks are formed by the changing in original form of rocks. And here you can see in this picture that due to the heat, so suppose at one particular level, there is a layer of either igneous or sedimentary rock. Now, when it is already been made, it is already been created, and it is stored under that ground, during that time also there is high, it is always, it will always face the high temperature, that is the heat, and the pressure from the surface rock also. So above it, there is a surface rock, a layer of surface rock. So from that surface rock, it will always, the surface rock will always exert a pressure on that igneous rock or sedimentary rock. So it will change the form of those igneous and sedimentary rocks. That will create a new form of rock called metamorphic rock. What are the different types of metamorphic rocks? There are 4 different types of metamorphic rocks. They are slate, marble, gneiss, and quartzite. So though it is starting with G, G will remain silent. Okay, we will not pronounce it. You can see the spelling GNEISS. So we will pronounce it as gneiss. Some people always pronounce it as gneiss, gneiss or gneiss, but never gneiss or gneiss. No, G will remain silent. Okay. Now let's go back to your book. Let's see what is written there. Metamorphic rocks are formed when igneous and sedimentary rocks undergo changes. What I have just told you, due to the intense heat and pressure inside the Earth's surface. After that, different types of rocks, different types of metamorphic rocks are explained here. The first one that is given here is the slate. You all have seen slate, right? We all have started writing on slate first in our lifetime, right? After that, we have started writing on paper with pencils first, then pen, and now we are writing on the digital or smart boards, right? This is the revolution, right? So, but we should never forget the slate because we have started writing on it. So what is slate? It is formed from shells. It is usually dark in color and used for making the blackboards. So even now, even till today, for making the blackboards, the slates are used. Now just turn the page, go to the next page. Next type of metamorphic rock that is given here is marble. We all are familiar with this term also. Most of us have seen marble also. It is formed from limestone. Its color, that means when limestone change, that makes the marble. Its color and texture depend on the limestone from which it is formed. It is used for making floors and buildings. So not necessarily all the marbles will be completely white. Okay. So its color depends on the stone from which it has been produced or from which it has been originated. Okay. Samia Rahman, Samia, yes, you have raised your hand. You unmute your device.
Yes, ma'am, I have raised my hands because, ma'am, can you explain this? Most of the natural fuel resources, fossil fuel like coal and petroleum, are contained within the layer of sedimentary rock. Ma'am, but why it can't be a metamorphic rock?
Why it can't be stored? Tell it again.
Ma'am, the line is most of the natural fuel resources in bracket fossil fuel like coal and petroleum are contained within the layer of sedimentary rocks. Ma'am, why it can't be metamorphic rock?
Okay, it cannot be metamorphic rocks because sedimentary rocks are continuously being made. Okay, metamorphic rocks, see, metamorphic rocks are changed form of igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks. That means it takes for the formation of metamorphic rocks, it takes maximum time, right? First, sedimentary rock will be formed, then it will change, and then it will be turned into metamorphic rock. But sedimentary rock or sediments are continuously being made, right? It doesn't need that much of time. Continuously, all the time, the sediments are getting stored, right? So the more old the rock will be, the more time it will take, the more deeper level it will go, right? The more time it will take, the more at the deeper level of the ground it will stay, right? And the less time it will take, the more the upper level. So the rocks that takes less time to be formed, they stay to the upper level of the ground. Okay, like sediments. Sediments are continuously being stored. They are continuously being carried by the rivers, sometimes by the air. They are blown away. So this is why they always stay to the uppermost layer of the earth's crust, or just to the next layer of the earth's crust. Okay. So to the earth's ground, the sedimentary rocks remain to the uppermost layer. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I was telling you about the marble. So the color of the marble is not necessarily will be always completely white because it depends on the because marble is a type of metamorphic rock and it comes from the limestone. When limestone changes, it makes the marble. And so it depends. The color of marble depends on which type of on the type of limestone which it has been created. Now, next one is quartzite. It is formed from the sandstone that is rich in quartz. So when the sandstone is rich in quartz, and that sandstone goes it undergoes some changes, and it changes into metamorphic rock, then it makes the quartzite. It is used to make the statues and glass. Yes, I'm recording. There is a problem that is going on. Everything is automatically being disconnected and connecting all again. So I'm sharing the screen also. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So gneiss is formed from the granite. When granite changes, it makes the gneiss. In the minerals, they are arranged in light and dark colored bands. This is one characteristic of this kind of rock that is written here. Next is the minerals. And you have already learned about the minerals in previous classes, right? So I think I don't need to the details about it. I will ask you the details. Okay, let's see whether you can remember it or not. But the basic things I will tell, like what are the minerals? Minerals are the building blocks of rocks. That means that makes the rocks. Rocks are made up of the minerals. They are found in the earth and are naturally occurring chemical substances. They are found in dirt, rocks, and even in waters. Minerals are two types: metallic minerals and non-metallic minerals. Metallic minerals are the minerals which are useful metals, and they are obtained like iron, copper, bauxite, tin, manganese. These are the metallic minerals. They are used for making jewelry, electrical equipment, and machines, parts of vehicles, etc. So, any one of you tell me, for making jewelry, which type of metal do we use? Yes,
Gold.
Divyanka. Okay, so gold is one type of metallic mineral or metal that we use for making the jewelry. And for making electrical appliances or electrical wires, which metal do we use? Any one of you tell me. Yes, Junaid.
Ma'am, silver.
For making electrical wires? Yes?
Ma'am, copper.
Copper, very good. That is correct answer. So we use copper for making electrical wires. And machines and parts of vehicles. This is one of the most common minerals. Only one hand I can see here. Divyanka, yes.
Ma'am, I think iron.
Iron, yes. Irons are used for making machines and different parts of vehicles. And apart from this, aluminum is also one kind of important metal that we use for making so many different types of appliances, so many different types of things that we use in our daily life. Okay. Next one is non-metallic minerals. Some minerals are also there that do not contain metals. Okay, they such as coal, petroleum, oil, or gemstones. These are called non-metallic minerals. Here you can see the formation of coal is written, and you have already learned it in the previous class. In the previous period also, in the previous class also, I have showed you one picture that was telling the what is written here. What is coal? Coal is a brownish black sedimentary rock. It is a natural energy resource that we get from the earth. Earlier, the earth was partly covered with swampy forests, muddy forests or swampy forests covered with water. Okay, the layer of the ground would always cover with water and mud. These are called swampy forests. And
Left.
and animals, they just fell into those swamps and they started getting stored inside that ground, inside that swamp. Due to the high heat and that is high temperature and pressure under the ground, they became compressed. So day by day, they became compressed. As the time passed, they became compressed and they started solidifying and they started making a particular kind of rock. Not rock which looks like rock, but it is actually not rock. It is not as hard as rock. So it was termed as coal then. It is completely black in color. Sometimes it is brownish black in color. So it will be completely black in color when humus will be mixed with it. You all know what humus is. Let's read this part as it was disconnected. I couldn't show you this part. What is written? When plants died, they fell into these swamps. For millions of years, water and dirt began to pile up on top of the plant's remains. So I'm telling you, it's not only about the dead plant parts, it's also about the dead bodies of the animals who used to live in those forests. The heat and pressure would build up and top of the plant remains, on the top of the plant remains, undergoing chemical and physical changes and turning these remains into the coal. So it takes millions. Share the screen. Every time I'm trying to share the screen, the device is just getting disconnected. So let me tell you simply, you all know how coal is made. So when the body parts of those dead plants and animals, they get stored, they fell into the swamps, they get stored for millions of years. Due to that high temperature and pressure, they get compressed, and after that, they make the coal. But we have a limited amount of coal. Similarly, the process for petroleum production, that is also same. How petroleum is created or petroleum is made, that is also same, but it depends on the pressure and on the temperature, and also on the type of the material that is making the coal and petroleum. It will become harder, or it will become an oil, it will become a coal, or it will become the petroleum. It depends on the terms, on the conditions of the conditions of the surrounding environment. Okay, depending on that, those body parts of the dead plants and animals, they turn into coals, petroleums, and oils. And these are the natural resources of energy. So we have a very limited amount of coal and petroleum. This is why it is always, you have always learned that we should not use it again and again. We should conserve it, and we should use renewable mode of energy, right? Non-renewable energy and renewable energy. Can you remember it?
Yes, ma'am.
The energy, the non-renewable source of energy means the source of energy from which if we use the total amount of that source, total quantity of that source that is available there, as the quantity is limited. So if we use all of them together, they will be finished. So we will not be able to use them again. They are called non-renewable source of energy. And renewable source of energies are sun, water, air, from which we will get the hydropower. From sun, we will get the solar power. From water, we will get the hydropower, and from wind, we will get the wind energy. So these are the renewable source of energy. That means they will never be finished. So we can use it again and again. So this is why, as the amount of the coal, petroleum, natural gas, these are limited, and these will take more millions of years to be produced again. So this is why we should conserve them, we should limit the use of them, and we should use the renewable energy resources. Okay. Now I can see 3 hands are raised here. One by one, you tell me. Trisha Ghosh. Yes, Trisha. You tell me why you have raised your hand.